Afternoon. Today we came to our plumbing online class day 15. So today we are just entering into drainage system. Drainage system. Okay. So these many days that we were dealing about the supply, and so today we are just entering into the drainage system. And first of all, today the topic that I am going to take is the stormwater management, stormwater harvesting, or rainwater harvesting, or rainwater management. Okay, we can call like that. So basically, this rainwater harvesting or stormwater harvesting mainly comes under drainage only, because we are taking the rainwater and we are disposing it properly. Okay, into a holding tank or a soft pit like that. So, so uh, we'll be studying about the pipe sizes. So mainly pipe sizing only will be there in the rainwater harvesting. And not only that, we'll be knowing how much liters of water needs to be stored. And we'll be using different formulas for finding out the flow rate. Okay, how much liter per second is being flowing. And in order to know that, we need to know the location. Okay, location of the of an area, and we need to know the rainfall intensity. So each country gives their own uh, rainfall intensity for their particular states. Okay, so states and localities. So this rainfall intensity is important. So it can be of 2 year plan, 1 year plan, okay, 10 year, 5 year plan. It goes like the 100 year plan. It will be like that, okay. And the meteorological department will be giving us the rainfall intensity and how much amount of water per hour will be produced in that proper area. Okay, all those things is needed for the calculation of stormwater drainage system. Okay. So in stormwater drainage system, we will be using manholes will be there, collection chambers will be there, okay, will be there. Okay. These things are there. So, what is the purpose of this rainwater harvesting? Okay, first one is that if there is any rain, okay, there should not be any flood. Okay, that water has to be properly drained out. A proper drainage system should be there. Okay, the water should not enter into any areas. Okay, so we need proper drainage system for that. That we having rainwater harvesting. We can use the rainwater. We can store the rainwater. We can use the rainwater for other purposes also. Okay. So that are the importance of stormwater. Okay. So today I will be sharing you. I will be sharing you the PowerPoint regarding the stormwater. Okay. So yeah. So stormwater management. So initially we are dealing with storm water management. So I will be teaching you the storm water management. Then we can do a problem related to storm water uh, designing. Then I will show you a project that I have done. Okay, that I have done. That is in Qatar, and I will show you the how I have done and which calculations that I have found out. Okay, I will show you. So initially, just we will be having some brief idea about the stormwater management. So this is just a picture of stormwater. So you can see this is a house or an apartment, and this is the roof through which you are getting rainfall, and you can get this. You can see this here. The water can be taken from the roof drain. Okay, from the roof we can have roof drain, and from there, by the help of pipe connections, we can give it in their chamber. Okay, and then we can give it to the sump. Okay, so before coming to the sump, you need some filters. Some rainwater filters are there. Okay, uh, So you know that the rainwater has to be filtered, then it will be giving into the sump. Sump means underground tank only. Okay. So the rainwater in the roof will be collected and it will be pass through different pipe connections. Some pipe connections, it will be left alone. Okay. Some and sometimes you have to collect the rainwater. In some other cases, you won't collect any rainwater and you will just let it off. Okay. And, see here there is a chamber or a filter. From the filter, it will be going to some. The some overflow you can give it to the open well. You can recharge your open well. Okay. You can give a percolation pit also. So you can give the percolation pit so that the water can be. These are the different methods of storing water. Okay, or drainage water, draining of the water. Okay, we can use percolation pit so that the water can be absorbed. Okay, then we can have a recharge well where you imagine that this is a gutter. Okay, this is a gutter, and all the water from this paved area, okay, by the help of a sloping, it will reach through this gutter. From this gutter, this water can be taken to a recharge well. Okay, so we can collect like that also. Okay, this is just a, a picture regarding the storm water management. Now we can divide this rainwater into different ways. One is rooftop harvesting, one is open space harvesting. So you can divide it into rooftop. From the roof, you can just take the water to open space, outside space, paved areas, landscapes. Okay, from all those areas you can take water. Okay, that is also an open space harvesting. Now, from the rooftop, the water will be taken or collected through the pipe and it will be given to the sun, okay, or a direct storage, okay. And from there, you can use it for direct use after filtration or disinfection, okay. Uh, so the water from the roof will be collected in the storage tank or rainwater tank. From before rainwater tank, you can give filter, or after rainwater tank, you can give filter for using, okay, for domestic consumption, okay, or you can directly use your water for gardening purpose, okay, you can give it for your gardening purpose. So rainwater is the one is the rooftop harvesting. From there it will be directly given into the storage tank. It is a direct storage. From there, for direct use after filtration and disinfection, okay, and you can use it for domestic consumption. Now from the open space harvesting, the surplus water will be given to the groundwater recharge. So you can see here, okay, from the open space, you can just the water overflow, the water will be to the rechargeable pit, or you can give to the percolation pit, or you can give to the open well. Okay, so the surplus water from the storage tank, you can give it to the groundwater recharge also, or to the open well also. Okay, and even though if there is excess water to the municipal or storm water drain, you can give to the municipal drain also, you can give if there is any over excess water. Okay, so these are the main two things. Okay, rooftop harvesting as well as the open space harvesting. Rooftop harvesting, the water will be collected in the tank and that will be filtered and can be used for domestic consumption. And open space also, you can use that water and you can recharge in the ground. Okay, you can recharge for the groundwater or you can recharge in the pit. Okay, and that can be used for some other purposes. Okay, and excess water you can out to the municipal or storm water drain. Now, this if you want, this is something that you need to know. Okay, rainwater storage. So, how much rainwater should be there? How much rainwater storage should be there? Or what should be the capacity of the storage tank? We can say. Okay, so this is a normal, data only. So rainwater storage, surface tank or underground sump and ground recharge, RCC precast ring well of minimum, 20 liters per square meter of roof area. So depending upon the roof area, the storage capacity differs. Okay, the storage capacity differs. This is the normal, amount of liter per square meter of roof area. So if it's a roof, so we have already studied about two types. One is roof harvesting as well as one is open harvesting. So you need underground tank or you need rainwater tank. So how much should be the capacity of the rainwater tank? Okay, that capacity can be known by like what is your roof area, and depending upon the roof area for 1 square meter for 1 square meter of roof area you can give 20 liters. So that means that for 100 square meter or 100 meter square roof area, how much liters should be given? You have to make a tank of 2000 liters. Okay, if your roof area is how much? Roof area is 100 square meter, and a minimum of 10 liters per square meter for paved and open space. For open space and for paved areas. Okay, paved areas means you will be filling with some stones or something like that, right? So that is called as paved areas. So for paved areas and the open space, a minimum of 10 liters. Okay, a minimum of 10 liters per square meter. Okay, can be used. By the help of this, you can find out uh, the amount of water can be stored. This is just like a approximate or just like a thumb rule. Okay, the normal thumb rule only. Otherwise, we have to find out the flow rate, and we have to find how much hours that we are trying to calculate for how many years. With respect to that only, we will be finding out the holding tank capacity. Okay, holding tank capacity. This can be used for normal houses and all those things. We can use this methodology. 20 liters or here and out in this locality, it is we can use for residents and all 25 liters per square meter also is being used. 25 liters per square meter for roof areas. Okay, so this is a normal calculation only. Okay, for finding out the storage of rainwater. 20 liters per square meter of roof area and a minimum of 10 liters per square meter for paved and open space. Now, next point they have said is that the open well or recharge well of depth 3 meter minimum. Minimum there should be 3 meter. Okay, and a diameter of 0.9 minimum. Okay, without filling in the well. Okay, without filling the well, at least there should be 3 meter depth and minimum of 0.9 meter diameter also. Okay, and without filling in the well, like aggregates like jelly, sand, etc. Okay, uh, so the permission shall be made like that. Okay, so this is the normal, details that is given for the storage of the rainwater. Okay, 20 liters per square meter for roof area, 10 liters per square meter for paved area, and a minimum of 3 meter depth and 9.9 meter, 0.9 meter, diameter, 0.9 meter diameter. It's a minimum. Okay, so yeah. So this is just we have seen rooftop. From there, the water will be coming, and there will be a filter bed. Okay, then we can give it for consumption to your house. Okay, we can give for consumption, and we can give the surplus water for recharge options. Okay, you can give it to the open well. You can give for it. You can give to the percolation pit, or you can give to the bore well. Okay, then paved or unpaved surface, you can the info is there. There should be silt trap should be there. Otherwise, what happens is mud and the sand will be infilling and that the floor will be blockaged. Okay, so a slit trap should be there. Then that water can be given to the filter bed. So before coming to that filtration process, it has to go through a silt trap. Okay, even if it is a is a paved or unpaved surface. Okay, runoff. Okay, so you can give it to open well, you can give it to percolation pit or bore well. Okay, before recharge. Now this is very important. This is the formula. Okay, this is the formula to find out the flow, mass flow rate or the runoff. We can call it as runoff. How much liters of water or how much meter cube per water per second is being flowing. So this formula is very important. If you want to take a screenshot, you can take the screenshot. This is very important formula. By using this formula only, you will be finding the flow rate. Okay, if you know the flow rate, easily you can find out the capacity of the tank, capacity of the storage tank. Okay, so rainfall flow or rainfall runoff is calculated by the rational formula. Okay, this is the runoff. Okay, or the flow rate. Okay, you can call it as flow rate or runoff. Mainly, you can call it as runoff in meter cube per second. Okay, this C into I into A divided by 60 to 60 into. This is a constant only, not a constant. To make it into meter cube per second, they have divided it by 60 into 60 into 1000. Okay, so the main formula is CIA. That's all. CIA. Okay, to find out the Q, you have to multiply into C into I into A, and this 60 into 60 into 1000 is a constant where you if you need to get the value in meter cube per second, you will be getting in meter cube per second. Okay, so C is the impermeability factor, or we can call it as runoff coefficient. Okay, C is the impermeability factor or runoff coefficient. This runoff coefficient or impermeability factor changes depending upon the type of material or type of the thing. Like if it's a paved area, it differs. If it's a roof, it differs. Okay, if it's a landscape like lawns, okay, natural lawn, the impermeability factor is different. Okay, if it's a rough surface, the C value changes. So depending upon the depending upon the different types, the C will change or the impermeability factor changes. Thus the runoff coefficient changes. So there will be a list of thing and the impermeability factor will be given to you. Okay. From the table, you can choose the impermeability factor. Okay. Now I is the rainfall intensity in mm per hour. This rainfall intensity is the amount of water or amount of rainfall in that particular area. This will be provided by the meteorological department, and you can get it from outside also, from the site also. You can know for this country or for this location or for this state what is the rainfall intensity. You can know the rainfall intensity in mm per hour, as well as you can know the annual rainfall also. You will be able to know the annual rainfall also. Okay, and these two things we will be getting from outside. This thing we have to take it from the table only. This rainfall intensity we have to get it. This information we have to get it. Then A is the area rain. Okay, this area is the area that we have to calculate it. Okay, so what is the project that you are getting? From where you are to drain the rainwater? How much area is there? Okay, that area is this area in meter square. So this area is in meter square. This rainfall intensity in mm per hour. This impermeability factor doesn't have a unit. So in order to change this mm and m square into meter cube per second, you have to divide by 60 into 60 into 1000. Okay. Normally the rainfall intensity will be given in mm per hour only, and area you know that it will be normally in meter square. Okay. So this is the formula CIA. Q is equal to CIA. Okay. So now you can see the some of the data. Okay, that is given here is maximum intensity of rainfall. So if you go to Google and you can search, also you can find it out. Okay. So the main cities. So main cities, maximum intensity of rainfall. Okay, in 1 hour storm only. Okay, 1 hour storm. this number, this intensity of rainfall is given for 1 hour only. Okay. If you want to get 2 hours, you can get it 2 hours. But there is a TabGar column, TabGar tables are there. Okay, that you can download, and I will show you an example also. Now, these are the major cities in India. Okay, and their intensity of rainfall for 1 hour storm is also given. Okay. In Rajasthan, it is 49.37 mm per hour. In Bombay, it is 127 mm per hour. And in our area, Trivandrum, it is 50.55 mm per hour. Where is your place? Hyderabad. Is it there? Your place is here, somewhere here? Or you can see here also. Maximum intensity of rainfall for major cities in India. Bombay, Cherrapunji, Allahabad, Ahmedabad, Nagpur, Pune, okay, Hyderabad, Jaipur, Baroda, and all. You can see here. These are some of the major cities in India, and its intensity is given. Rainfall intensity is given. Okay. So the rainfall intensity, we can take it out from this tables. Okay. So you know the formula Q is equal to C into I into A. Okay. I means this only, intensity of rainfall. Okay. So the intensity of the rainfall can be taken depending upon the location of your project. Okay. Next, you can see here also. This is annual rainfall in some major cities. Okay. This annual rainfall. Annual rainfall in mm is 2099, like that. The rainy season is from June to September. Percentage of total rainfall during the season is 80%. Okay. So these are the annual rainfall in 1 year. In 1 year, what is the total rainfall, or how much mm of water? What is intensity of rainfall in 1 year is been shown here. So mainly we don't want this one. We want only this one. Okay, to calculate the flow rate. Okay, so let's do this. This is the imperviousness. Okay, the soil conditions and the ground slope determine the impermeability factor, or you can call this runoff coefficient. Impermeability factor is the proportion of the total rainfall received on the surface, which will be discharging into the stormwater drain after allowing for initial abstraction in local pond and lakes. Ground absorption by evaporation, vegetation, and other losses. The net flow reaching the stormwater drain is called runoff. Okay. After the absorption and all those things, after when water reaches your soil, some water will be absorbed by it, some will be evaporated by it, and some other will be some water will be losing or losses some water by some other method. Okay. So after that, the amount of water or the net flow reaching the storm water drain is called as the runoff. Okay. So how much water is being you will be getting it into your tank. Okay. A rainwater tank is called as the runoff. For example, if you are getting, for example, for making you to know, like if 1,000 liters is being coming from the top as a rain, it doesn't mean that the 1,000 liter will go into the stormwater sump or rainwater tank. Why? Because some will be evaporated, some water can be evaporated, some water can be lost in some other way, some can by vegetation and by ground absorption. Some water will be absorbed by the ground itself. Okay, so the rest of the water only. Okay, after initial abstraction, the rest of the water or the net flow after the abstraction is called as the runoff. Okay, that's why we are multiplying with C. Okay, we are multiplying with the runoff coefficient. Okay, so which means that much water is been taken off. Okay, that much water is been loosed. Okay, some loss happened to that water. Okay, so the percentage of impermeability imperviousness of the drainage area may be obtained from the available data for a particular area. In the absence of such data, the following values may serve as a guide. So already we will be having that values. If there is no if you don't get that guide, we can use this depending upon the type of area. If it's a commercial and industrial areas, the imperviousness factor or in percentage is 70 to 90. Okay, or you can write 0.7 to 0.9. For residential areas, it is 60 to 75. Okay, for residential areas, low density, it is 35 to 60. Parks and underdeveloped areas, it is 10 to 20 percentage. Okay, this is the C. CIA in that, this is the C, imperviousness factor. In percentage is shown here. Okay, so this is been from the National Building Code of India, Part 9. Okay, from Part 9, we'll be getting this, this C. Okay, or imperviousness factor. Okay. Now this is the thing that we need. Okay, the runoff coefficient of various types of surfaces. Okay, depending. Okay, if it's a forest and wooded area, the value of runoff coefficient will be 0.01 to 0.2. Okay, so this also, that C value will be getting from table. Okay, this is the table. Okay, I value means intensity of rainfall, that also will be getting it. That is also a given value only. Okay, that you have to take it from a data sheet. Now, if it's an open ground or unpaved street, it is 0.01 to 0.3. Parks, lawns, gardens, etc. The runoff coefficient will be 0.1 to 0.2. Macadam roads, pavements, etc. Normal roads and pavements, is it 0.25 to 0.7. Asphalt pavements, it is 0.85 to 0.9. Watertight roof surface, it is 0.9 to 0.95. So these are the different runoff coefficients or C value or impermeability. Okay, factor. Okay. Now we got these things, right? We got intensity of rainfall. We know the formula. We can find out the impermeability factor. We can find out the rainfall intensity. Okay, then if you get a question and if we know the particular area, we can find out this runoff. Correct. So we are going to do a question. Calculate the runoff or calculate the Q, diameter and the gradient. Gradient means the slope. Gradient means the slope of a storm sewer. Okay, to be laid or conveying rainwater from an asphalt covered car park, measuring 100 into 40 meters. So 100 into 40 meters is the area. Okay, we got the area, and it is said that the area is asphalt covered car park only. Asphalt covered car park only, and we have to find out the runoff, and we have to find out the diameter of the pipe, and we have to find out the slope. Okay, so if you got all these things, we can easily find it out, right? So as we are trying to design the rainwater or stormwater drainage, what we need to know is, we need to know its runoff, we need to know the pipe diameter, we need to know how much slope it has to be taken. Okay, and depending upon this runoff, we can find out the storage tank capacity also, how much there is a runoff per hour, for how much time you are trying to store it, 3-day storage or 4-day storage. You can do like that also. You can multiply with 3 also. Okay, now this is our question. Our area is 4,000 square meter for a 4,000 square meter. Okay, 100 meter into 40 meter. And it's, so this is the car park area. So this is the slope of the channel. This is covered with the channel with the grills, covered channel with the grills. So the water will be flowing through this. You can see here, water will be flowing through this, and the slope is towards this side. And this is the storm sewer, and this is the pipe. Okay, so what they have asked is that we have to find the runoff, we have to find the slope, and we have to find out the diameter also. So impermeability factor is 0.9. Okay, Impermeability factor is 0.9 because it is an asphalt pavement only. They have already said. So depending upon the project that we get, we have to identify what type of surface is it, whether it's a garden or whether it is a roof or whether it is a lawns, right? Whether it is unpaved area or paved area. Depending upon that, you have to choose the runoff coefficient. So here they have said that it is a car park of asphalt covered car park only. So asphalt pavements, it is 0.85 to 0.9. So you can take maximum coefficient. So impermeability factor you can take at 0.9. Rainfall intensity. Rainfall intensity depends upon the location. So if you are trying to take it for Hyderabad, you have to go where? You have to go here and you have to choose the location. Okay, you have to choose the location. So here, uh, uh, wherever it might be, so for Bhopal it is 60 and in Gaya it is 60. Okay, so they have given us, you know, the rainfall intensity they have given us 60 mm per hour. The 60 mm per hour will change according to the location. For the time being, for solving this question, we have taken 60 mm per hour. Okay, so that is the rainfall intensity. Velocity, the velocity on the flow in the sewer is 1.2 meter per second. Okay, normally if you are trying to it will be in the range of 0.75 to 1.2. Okay, mainly it will be in that range only. Like the self-cleansing velocity, okay, is 0.75. Self-cleansing velocity is 0.75. So if you are trying to bring the velocities to 0.75 also, no issue. Okay, so it should not be the velocity through the pipe should not be larger or it should not be very low also. Okay, so 0.75 is our normal cleansing velocity only. Or here you can give 1.2 meter per second is the velocity of the water that is flowing through the pipe. Okay, so velocity of flowing sewer is 1.2 meter per second. So we got C, we got I. Okay, so next we need to know is the area. Okay, area also we know. So if you know area, we know C, and if you know I, can we find out the runoff? Yes, of course. What is the formula of runoff? C into I into A divided by 60 into 60 into 1000 in order to get meter cube per second. Okay. So let's see. C into I into A divided by 60 into 60 into 1000. C is 0.9. I is intensity of rainfall. It is 60 mm per hour. Area is how much? 100 into 40. So you can see 40 into 100 or 100 into 40. So 100 into 40 divided by 60 into 60 into 1000. It is how much? 0.06 meter cube per second. That is the runoff. So 0.06 meter cube per second is been flowing into the rainwater tank in 1 hour. Yeah, or in 1 hour in the sense like we are finding out for 1 hour duration only. If the rain is falling for 1 hour continuously, with respect to that only we are trying to find it out. Okay, so we can get the intensity of rainfall for 2 hours also, for 3 hours also, for 5 hours also, for 2 years also, 5 years also, 10 years also, 100 years also, we can find the value. Okay, that value will be, we cannot find the value, that value will be found out by the meteorological department of that concerned place or concerned locality, and they will be producing their chart. Okay, from that chart you can take that value, intensity of rainfall. Okay, now we got the runoff. Correct, we got the runoff. Now we need to find the diameter of the pipe and the gradient of the stormwater or the slope. You have to find out the diameter and the slope of the pipe. So how to find the diameter and the slope? You know the formula Q is equal to area into velocity. Okay, this is mainly for that riser pipe only. Okay, if you are taking from or let's take the normal pipe also. Okay, if it's a rooftop, that will be the riser pipe, or if it's a paved area, you can know that. Okay, you can collect through the pipe. So Q is equal to area into velocity, area equal to Q by V. Q is equal area equal to pi by 4 d square Q by V. Okay, in that you can find out D. root of 4q by v into pi. So d equal to 4 into q, how much? 0.06 divided by velocity, you can give 1.2, okay, into pi. So you will be getting almost 0.25 meter or 250 mm. So the diameter of the pipe is 250 mm for a 100 into 40 meter square area. Okay, so we got the runoff. Runoff is in 1 second 0.06 meter cube is been flowing in a second, and the diameter is 250 mm. Okay, the diameter is 250 mm. Now we have to find out this slope. So initial day, initial class in the initial plumbing class, we have studied about different formulas, Hazen-Williamson formula, Manning's formula, okay, different formulas we have studied, okay, Chase's formula, okay. So in we can use, in order to find out the uh, slope. So we have already found out the runoff and diameter we have already found out. The next one we need to find out is the gradient or the slope of the storm sewer. Slope of the storm sewer. So the slope of the storm sewer we can find out by the formula, Manning's formula. This formula we have already discussed in the initial classes. So slope or gradient is evaluated from the Manning's equation, V equal to 0.003968 into d raised to 2 by 3 into s raised to 1 by 2 divided by n. So we have already did some problems in the second class, it seems, by using Manning's equation. Okay, so we are using the same equation here also. So this is n. N is the Manning's roughness coefficient. It is 0.013. It's a constant. Okay, 0.013 is the Manning's roughness coefficient. D is the diameter. S is the slope. So you know the D. So that D has to be given in mm itself only. So velocity you know, diameter you know, n you know. So from there you can find out the S or slope. So velocity is 1.2 meter. 0.003968 into diameter is 250 raised to 2 by 3 into S. S is the slope divided by N. N is the 0.013. So from there you will be getting S raised to 1 by 2 equal to 0.00943. So S equal to 0.009886. Okay, so this is the slope 0.009886. So we can write this 0.009886 as 988 divided by this much 10000, this much zeros you can write, right? So this is the slope 9886 divided by 1000000. Okay, or you can write as 1 divided by 101. Okay, that is the slope, which means 1 is to 101. For 101 meter, 1 meter is the slope. That is the meaning of this. Okay. Okay. For if the length of the pipe is 101 meter, the slope will be 1 meter. Okay. For 101 meter, 1 meter is the slope. So slope we can write as 1 in 101 to be provided, or we can write 0.9%. So you multiply with 100. Here itself you will be getting in percentage 0.9. If you want in fraction, you can write like this. So how you got this 101 is you have to divide this value with this. Okay, this denominator with the numerator, you will be getting this 101. Okay, so that is the way to find out the slope. So we got all the values, right? We got runoff, we got the diameter of the pipe, and we got the slope. So similarly, you have to find it for all other areas also the same way. Here the intensity of the rainfall differs depending upon the locality. C value, impermeability or runoff coefficient will change depending upon the area, surface area, type of surface area. Okay, so depending upon that you have to give the value from here. Intensity of rainfall, you have to take the value from the other tabular column like this. Okay, area you can calculate and you can find out the runoff coefficient. If you find runoff coefficient, you can easily find out the diameter with velocity 1.2 meter. Okay, if you know the diameter, we can find out the slope by using Manning's formula. Simple. Okay, so now coming to the some more topics. So this is the gutter, okay? Gutter, rainwater gutter is there. So we were dealing with these pipes only, these pipes and runoff and all those things only we were dealing with. So these are called as gutters. Okay, so if there is a roof, there is a gutter. There are three different types of gutters are there. OG gutter is there, half round gutter is there. Okay, and from these gutters only we will be taking the water through the pipe. Okay, so so we can just see about. So these are the gutters. Okay, these are the gutters. You might be seeing all these gutters. These gutters should have slope also. These gutters should have a minimum, a small amount of slope also should be there to have an easy flow. Okay, now you can see this. These are gutters. Okay, so this is one of the section view. So these are three houses. You just imagine it's a house. So this is a slope. Okay, and this is the gutter. This is called as eave gutters. Okay, eave gutters. Okay, this is called as valley gutters. So if there is two slopes which is combined, in between that we can give a slope called as valley gutters. This is called as eave gutters. Okay, now eave gutters, valley gutters. There are different types of eave gutters are there. So this is eave gutters and this is a valley gutter. Okay, and there are different types of eave gutters are there. Okay, one is half round gutter, then is rectangular gutter, then trapezoidal gutter and OG gutters are there. So these are the different shapes of that, different shapes of eave gutters. Okay, so there are mainly four types of eave gutters. They are half round gutter. Normally we have seen this half round gutter only. Rectangular gutter also we can see. There is trapezoidal as well as OG gutters are there. Okay. So yeah. Now these are the different types of gutters. Now half round gutter, segmental gutter, and OG gutter. Okay. There are half round gutter, segmental gutter, and OG gutters are also there. Different types of gutters are there. Okay. This is OG, this is half round, this is segmental. Okay. Now this table shows water flow capacities for fixed level gutters with the outlet at one end. Okay, so it shows, if the half round gutters flow capacity has been shown. Okay, through a 100 mm size of a half round gutter, 0.83 liters per second water can be flown through a 100 mm size. If it's a OG gutter, it can flow up to 0.91 liters per second. Okay, if it is a 125, if it's a 125 mm pipe dia or not pipe dia, but half round gutter size, 1.5 liters per second can be flown. Okay, for half round gutter. For OG gutter, we can have 1.7. If the size is 150, 2.3 liters per second can be run or flowed through that particular gutters. And if it's a OG, you can give even up to 2.7. Okay. Now the capacity of gutter, level gutter, half round. Okay. Now let's see about this. Okay. Half round gutter, capacity of the half round gutter. Okay. Now the same only. Okay. This is same 125. This is 1.5. The same table only. So if it is 75.4 liter per second, if it is 100.8 liter per second, if it is 125, 1.5 liter per second, if it is 150, 2.3 liter per second of the water flow will be occurring in this, in this round gutter. Now, sizing of down pipe. Down pipe means the pipe after the gutter, right? After the gutter, this one. This one. This is the gutter and this is the down pipe. So, half round gutter, if the half round gutter size is 75 mm, the down pipe diameter should be 50, which means that if this half round is diameter is 75, this pipe should be 50. Okay, if this is 75, this is 50. Okay, if it is 100, if the half round gutter size is 100, downpipe diameter is 65. If the half round is 125, it is 75. It is 150, it is 100. So depending upon the size of the half round gutter, this downpipe size will change. Okay. So when you are dealing with this gutters, you can take these values. Okay. Now this is the drainage of rainwater. Another one only. Type of gutter: half round molded OG gutters. The roof area is given. Okay, the roof area is given in meter square. If for the roof area on plan is 27 meter square, the area of the roof area is 27 meter square. The gutter size is normally 100. So the downpipe is 60. You can take that also. Size of down take pipe. If the area is 34, you can take gutter size 110. This is depending upon the drainage of rainwater, depending upon the area. Okay, gutter size you can give 110, and size of the downpipe is 60. If it is 50, you can give size 100 and downpipe 75. Like if the type of gutter is molded, you can see here the gutter size is 100 into 75. Downpipe dimension is given. If it's an OG type, gutter size is given and its respective size of downpipe is also given. Okay, so these are some of the things that you need to know about the rainwater. So I will show you. One of the project that I have did. Okay, I will show you one of the project that I have did. This project is for a Toyota showroom. It's a big. Its area is almost 25,000 square meter. Share these specifications. 1 second. Necessary design details. Okay, I will share you about this thing. Okay, no problem. And I will show you a only I'll show you about this rainwater. Okay, rainwater and its calculations. Okay, so I will share my project. So this is the showroom. Okay, this is almost 25,000 square meter area, meter square area only, almost 250,000 square feet area. Okay, this one. Okay, so I'll show you another one thing also. So I will just show you the actual picture of it, and I will explain it. Yeah, this is their area. Okay, this is their area. Now this is a mechanical service roof areas and all those things. This is the spare parts storage. Okay, this is a showroom only. Okay, not showroom in the sense, they are for washing and all those things are involved in it. Okay, this is body and paint roof. Okay, this is the parking area and all those things. So I am not I am not saying about the details of this projects and all. I will just focus on the rainwater part. Okay. So one more. I'll show you one more picture. So this is in Qatar. This is in Qatar only. So I got a project. So mainly to do the, it's stormwater drainage part. So yeah, this is more clear. Okay, this is a big area only. This is a building one. Okay, this is their compressor room only. Okay, and this is their drying, rinsing, washing base. Okay, this is their building two. Okay, generator, substation, fire pump room, guard room, to control room, etc. are there. Okay, washing base are there. So these are the roads. Okay, these are the paved roads. Okay, and I will show you the road area also. Road markings. So they will be giving all the details regarding their site. Okay, they will be giving all the details regarding their site. So we need to know where is the road, from where we have to take water, all those things we need to know it. We need to know the slope. Slope in the sense we need to know the level. Okay. So this is their site. Okay, this is their site. And yeah, this is the road. We can see the road with the arrow. See, this is the road. Okay. So we have to take the water from all the paved areas. This can be called as paved area. This is the road. This is the road. Okay. This is the road. This is the road. You can see this round is a road. This is the road. You can see here also from here to here. This one, this one, this one. So we have to take the water from all these paved areas and from all the roof areas also. This roof, this roof, this roof. All these are roof areas. Okay. And we have to store it in a tank. So I was dealing with this is the so from this area, you have to calculate the how we have calculated just now. We have to calculate the runoff and we have to know the diameter. Okay. Then see this is RW means rainwater outlet only. So for if you are focusing on this small area, this area, from their architectural drawing, we can saw that this is the rainwater outlet. 1, 2, 3 is there. So we have to find all the complete area. We have to divide it into 3. And for that roof area, go and substitute in the formula. C2 is equal to C into I into A. From there, you have to find the pipe size. You have to find the pipe size. And then we have to give it to the manhole. So here what I have did is that this is my pipe size. I have found out the pipe size using formula and I got 82 as the dia. UPVC pipe slope I have taken as 1:100. So you can find out the slope, you can find out the diameter also, right? Then this is called as a collection chamber. Okay, directly all my pipelines will be going to the collection chamber. From collection chamber, I will give it to the manhole. So this is the manhole. Okay, so this manhole will be connected to another manhole. See here. Okay, these water from the roof will be directly given to individual collection chambers. CC means collection chambers only. Okay, this is another collection chamber. This is another collection chamber. That water will be collected and will be given into this manhole. Okay, so these are road gullies only. This is road gullies. GU means road gullies. So through this only the water from the paved areas, water from the road and the paved areas will reach into this, road gully, because the slope will be in this area. Okay, it will be towards this road gully only. So from the road gully there will be a pipe. The pipe is 110 mm and 1:90 is the slope. Okay, when I calculated. Okay, so this pipe will be reaching to this manhole. Everything will be reached to the manhole only. From the manhole only it will be connect. It will be flowing. Okay, this is the main pipe. It will reach to this manhole, and from there it is going to the, see, this is the tank. You can see this is the tank. Okay, rainwater holding tank. So from here also, these area are also roof only. So how we have to find out the area of the roof? We can calculate the area of the roof. Okay, after finding out the area you can easily find out the flow rate. If you know the flow rate you can find out the diameter. Okay, so see here also I have taken this and given to the collection chamber, then given to the sewage or storm water manhole. Okay, so this is the road gully. So the water from the road will reach to this road gully. The water from the roof will reach to this collection chamber. Okay, the water from this road won't reach to this collection chamber. Okay, the water from the roof only will reach us to collection chamber. The water from the paved areas and or the roads will reach to this road gully. Okay, then all this water will be given into the manhole. Okay, from the manhole it will be reaching to the other manhole. Okay, then it will be reaching to the other manhole. Okay, all the areas on all the water will be reached here. Then that will be collected here. That will be collected here. Then at last it will reach to the rainwater holding tank. Okay, this is the way that we will be calculating. Okay, so initially we have in order to give for a top end clients and all, we have to make a calculation sheet. So this is the Toyota service center and showroom Swaya at Alcor. Okay, this is in Qatar. So we have to give a table of contents, how we have calculated all those things we have to show there. Okay, introduction, design parameters, design guidelines, this all we have to make it. Okay, then we have to see, I will show you. Just I have given the introduction, how I have designed. I have taken the rainfall intent. I have taken the storm duration period of for 100 years only, and the intensity is based on storm for 100 years for 120 minutes. Okay, I have taken for 2 hours. So just now we have seen for 1 hour only, right? We have taken 1 hour. So we can take for 2 hours or we can take for 1 hour. Okay, and there are tabular columns will be there. Okay, so I will show you the tabular column funds. So you can see here runoff coefficient. C value you can get it from here. See, runoff coefficient is given depending upon the type of drainage area. So from here you can take the runoff coefficient. So this is been get from Ashkel only. Ashkel means normally it depends upon the Qatar only. Okay, Qatar sewage and drainage design manual only. Okay, from there you will be getting this, and this is another report only. From this only we will be getting the rainfall intensity for 2 hours, 5-year storm, 10-year storm, 25-year storm, 50-year storm. Okay, from here also you can find it out. Okay, rainfall intensity you can find it out. Okay, depending upon the time, 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes, 80 minutes, 100, 120, or you can go here. Okay, yeah, this is the table, rainfall intensity table. So if the duration is for 1 hour, you can take from this. and the return period is, you can take for 2, 5, 10, 25, 50, 100 years. Okay, here I have taken for 100 years and the duration 2 hours. Okay, so from here you can take rainfall intensity. So we want C into I into A. Area you can just measure from the AutoCAD drawing. I you can take it out from this table, and C you can take it out from this table. Okay, then what you have to do is that go to the formula. This is the formula, correct? C into I into A. Okay, C into I into A divided by 60 into 60 into 1000 is 36 into 10 raised to 5. Okay, so C is the runoff coefficient, I is the rainfall intensity for T years and T times, T minutes. Okay, this T involves years and this T involves minute time. Okay, A is the area of catchment area in square meters. Q is the discharge in cubic meters per second. So this is my consolidated calculation sheet. You have seen all the building areas, right? You have seen all the building areas. Okay. This when I calculated all the building areas, I got now almost 8,354 square meter. Okay, and paved areas or road areas. These are the road areas, correct? This one, this round. I got almost 16,645 meter square area. Okay, when I reduced this area from this area, I got this much. So total is 25,000 square meter only. Okay, then I have found out the discharge. See, this is the formula. C into I into A. C is 0.9. Okay, runoff coefficient. You can get it from the attachment 3. Okay, I is 28.59. Rainfall intensity. Area is, so I have calculated individual area only. Okay, individual area means for this small area, for this small area, for this small area, for this area, like that only I have calculated. So you can calculate like that, and this is the formula. C into I into A. Give C value, give I value, give the area, and find out the discharge. Okay, I got 151.14 meter cube per hour. You'll be getting in seconds only, but you can convert it into hour. Okay, so yeah, so you have to calculate all those things and you have to add it. Okay, so you can add it. Okay, calculation of surface water. You have to calculate for roof as well as you have to calculate for surface also, road also. Then what you have to do is that you have to find out the total capacity. You have to add all those things. Okay, then you will be getting this much. So there is nothing in this. You have to understand only this one. What is that? Find out the you should be able to know this formula. You should be able to know this formula. This C value will be getting it from that table. I value is the intensity of rainfall, that also will be getting from table. A you can calculate. Okay, you will be able to know length into width is the area and find out the Q value. Okay, so you'll be getting in meter cube per second. You can convert this into meter cube per hour also. Okay, so then what you have to do is go to this formula and you can find out the diameter of the pipe. Okay, when you get the diameter of the pipe, you can go to this formula and can find out the slope also. So this is the main thing that you need to know, and you have to collect all those pipes, give it to the manhole. Okay, the roof, the water from the roof can be collected in the collection chamber. From the collection chamber, you can give to the manhole. The paved areas you can give a road gully. From road gully, you can give to the manhole. Okay, all the water will be collected in the manhole. That water from the manhole will be distributed to the other manhole by another pipe. And in the second manhole, there will be surrounded areas, right? You can take another road gully. From there, you can give it to the second manhole. There will be another roof area. from there you can take the water and give to the collection chamber. From collection chamber you can give to the manhole 2. From manhole 2 it will go to the manhole 3. Then manhole 4. Then finally it will be reaching the storage tank, rainwater tank. Okay. So, so that is the way that we'll be finding out the answer. So here I have calculated for both the surface water as well as for roof water also I have calculated. Okay. And total I got 260 meter cube per hour when I added all these things for the complete 8,354. Okay. So, so this is the consolidated sheet. Okay, this is the total area for roof. The discharge from this total area will be 216.69 meter cube per hour. So the holding tank capacity will be 487. How you got this 487 is that I have made this holding tank for 3 days. Okay, so how you got that 487 is like I will show you. So this individually you have to calculate for small areas. Then for the land area also you have to calculate. So how you got the holding tank capacity is rainwater from the buildings. These are the different buildings. Okay, and the building area is almost 6259.54. 6259.54. And it's the total area. Okay, 6259, correct? Okay. (6259). Okay, anyway, 6259. That is the area. Then this is the area. Then by using this formula, we can find out the Q. Okay, this is we will be getting 162.35 meter cube per hour. For 3 days storage, you have to multiply with 3. We will be getting 487. Okay, so this is the rainwater tank capacity. Understood? So find out the total area, give it in this equation, and find out the water capacity. Okay, if it is for 1 day storage only, you can give this 1162.35 meter cube is the storage tank capacity. Okay, so that's all for rainwater tank harvesting. So is there any doubt? Is there any doubt regarding this rainwater tank harvesting or stormwater system harvesting? The important thing that you need to know only that formula. Okay, C into I into A divided by 60 into 60 into 1000. C is the runoff coefficient. You'll be getting it from the table. I is the intensity of rainfall. Depending upon the location, it will be changing. You can take it from that table. A is the area where you have to calculate. You can measure it, the area. If you got C and I and A, you'll be getting the Q. You'll be getting Q. Okay, flow rate. So if you get flow rate, equate in the formula Q is equal to area into velocity. Give the velocity as 1.2 or 0.75 and get the diameter. So you got the flow, you got the diameter. Now you need to find out the slope of the pipe. Slope of the pipe, go to the Manning's formula and equate in the Manning's formula and get the slope also. So another thing that you have to keep in mind is that if you are trying to take the roof, okay, roof water, there will be gutter. You have already seen the gutter size. From the gutter, you will be taking the down pipe, and that down pipe will be initially going to the collection chamber only. From collection chamber only, it will be going to the manhole. If you are using the paved area, the water will be collected in the road gullies. From road gullies, a pipe will be connected to the manhole. Okay. So this is the way that we will be finding out the storm water. Okay. So thank you so much. So we can see tomorrow, and I will send you the video link as soon as possible. Okay. So thank you. Thank you.